Welcome to Star Fox 64 with a Therapist, where we are going to analyze one of the most classic games ever in existence, and one of my favorite games from when I was a childhood. When I was a child. Strap in, YouTube. We're gonna have some fun. As a heads up to the folks that are watching this on YouTube, this is satire. I am going to do legitimate analysis, but this is mostly me making fun of myself by doing this. This was suggested by Twitch chat a long time ago. I'm grateful to have you here. Leave a thumbs up, like and subscribe. If you're watching this and this is your first viewing of the channel, there's better stuff on the channel. If you've been watching all my stuff and you've been craving more and you want something a little bit more silly, welcome. First round is going to be the blue lines. The subtitles are messed up because of the texture pack I'm using, so just be aware. But I will pause when I can to do different analysis.
Corneria, fourth planet of the Lilat system. The evil Andros turned this once thriving system into a wasteland of near extinction. General Pepper of the Cornerian army was successful in exiling this maniacal scientist to the barren, deserted planet Venom. 5 years later, General Pepper noticed strange activity coming from Venom. James McCloud, Pigma Dangar, and Peppy Hare of the Star Fox team were sent to investigate. Upon their arrival, Pigma betrayed the team, and James and Peppy were captured by Andros. Peppy barely escaped Venom and returned home to tell James' son, Fox, about his father's fate. A few years have passed. Andros has again invaded the Lilat system. General Pepper has turned to a new Star Fox team, headed by Fox McCloud, to save Corneria and free the Lilat system once again.
Oh, yeah. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Dun. All right, here we are. Corneria.
It's about time you showed up, Fox. You're the only hope for our world.
I'll do my best. Andros won't have his way with me.
Good luck.
Open the wing. Check your G-diffuser system. Velcro here. I'm fine. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Slippy here. I'm okay.
I see him up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
All right, so to start, General Pepper says to Fox, "It's about time you showed up. The only hope for our world." And Fox responds, "I'll do my best. Andros won't have his way with me." There's two things going on here. The first thing is we need to take into account family legacy. This is a concept that gets pulled from a few different family therapy models. But sometimes people believe that they owe the world or their context or their relationships certain things because of the family they come from or the directives that they learned from that. And Fox's father died in the pursuit of trying to kill Andros. And if Fox was a child when this happened, which as far as we know he was, he would potentially grow up with this sense of internalized pressure that he needs to take out Andros, not only to avenge his father, but also to ensure that a family legacy of safety amongst the galaxy is maintained. So there's this implicit family narrative here that the McLeods are responsible for making sure that everybody is safe. And we hear that reflected in how General Pepper orients himself to Fox. You're gonna make me laugh, chat. So I think something that can happen here is that pressure is something that can create a sense of being in a box where your future and your directives are already decided for you. And something that people will often strive for then in their development in early adulthood, like Fox, is autonomy. So when General Pepper says it's about time you showed up, Fox, that suggests that Fox doesn't always show up immediately when he's needed. And I think that's a way for him to assert some control over the environment and show people that despite the fact that he's acting on a family legacy, it's on his terms, that he's just not available at everybody's beck and call. It's a way to ensure that there's a boundary there that's set somewhat implicitly so that people don't take advantage of it.
Slippy, get back here! Slippy, walk out. Bogey on your tail.
Whoa! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
We're entering Corneria City now. This is horrible. Everybody stay alert.
So Peppy coming in and saying everybody stay alert after Fox has clearly taken the lead by saying we're entering Corneria City now. I think what we need to consider for Peppy is a sense of obligation to see this through. He probably feels a sense of pressure on himself, one, to take care of Fox because he couldn't take care of James. And so not being able to take care of James adds this extra layer of pressure. Even though Fox is the leader, I'm not going to drop my caretaking role, possibly because I feel a sense of inadequacy or anxiety by virtue of the fact that I couldn't take Andros down. He says, everybody stay alert. I think that's a way of him trying to calm his own nerves by taking some control and also feeling that sense that he's taking care of Fox and helping him along as a leader. I don't know that it's because he doesn't trust Fox. I think it's because his perspective on this entire dynamic is different because he knew James and because now he has decided to enlist with Fox. And that history, I think, is going to show up probably throughout this playthrough.
You've got an enemy on your tail. Use the brake.
Would Peppy be the implicit leader? Hard to say. I think he's trying to, in some ways, I think, be an explicit leader, like here telling Fox to use the brake. You know, Fox knows how to fly. There's a reason that Fox is in charge of this squadron. But I think Peppy probably still sees Fox a lot younger than the other people in the group do.
I'll take this one. Get the one behind me.
Falco showing some strong confidence in Fox.
Something's wrong with the G diffuser. Use the boost to take. I guess I should be thankful.
Falco has already shown a bit of a standoffishness, I'm guessing, because there's probably some part of him that wishes that he was the leader. When he says things like, I guess I should be thankful, I'm fine, things like this, I think there's a real strong confidence in Falco that he wrongly associates with being diminished when following. I think something that's important for people to understand about leadership and following is that you can be a confident person with high self-esteem who's incredibly capable that uses that to be an effective follower. Just because you're in a subordinate position does not mean that you are weak. It doesn't mean that you have to prove something. Unless a person in a position of leadership tells you you need to prove something, or that you have created something that you're pursuing, you're not in an actual like global one down position by being subordinate. It's a position that you can occupy incredibly well. And a lot of times the best leaders come from people who show that they can follow well and then have that little bit of extra. But there is absolutely no shame in identifying that you are a strong follower and occupying that role. And I think Falco struggles with that and goes back and forth.
Do a barrel roll.
You know, again, Peppy just wants to take care of Fox. That's very, very clear through giving all of these directions on basic flight that Fox already is well aware of how to navigate.
Pretty smooth flying, Fox.
Right? You know, shows a bit of admiration, but there's also a bit of condescension in that.
Follow me, Fox. Falco, where you going? I found the target. Try to keep up. Time for a little payback. Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side. Gotcha!
Fox never responds to Peppy's backseating or Falco's passive aggression. He's focused on the mission.
Someone want to play?
Incoming enemy from the rear. Drop altitude.
Yeah, Peppy. It's going to be a common theme here.
Deploy all units! Charge! I've got a present for you!
That's it. Aim for the open spot. Yeah! It's working!
Now, I do want to make a distinction here between giving insight and directives in a time of adversity versus in a time where there is leeway to navigate just kind of like the general events of what's happening. When Peppy here is saying something like aim for the open spots, it's likely that it was predetermined prior to going on this mission that if anybody had something to contribute to the situation that would better help the team be successful, they should say it. So in a time where we're really squeezed like this and we need to make quick decisions and we need all the information we can get, we see everybody slide into a role. So we see Slippy analyze the shields, and then we see Peppy calling out different things that we can do to take this down. In this case, I don't think this is Peppy trying to hijack leadership. This is Peppy contributing to the group dynamic in a way that Fox has clearly either said he's okay with, or if he's not okay with, we'll handle it afterwards. If this was a training exercise and there was a need to facilitate some of Fox's leadership, then Peppy saying what we need to do here might be considered to be either passive aggressive or trying to hijack the moment or not believing in Fox. The whole point of this is that you have to take context into account with the way that people show up to different dynamics and what they offer to them. And in a time of adversity, if there's any adjustments that need to be made going forward, then you talk about that and you communicate about it openly afterwards. But right now we have a crisis we have to solve, and Peppy has something to offer to it. Doesn't mean that too many cooks in the kitchen is a good thing. Sometimes people give bad information in times of crisis. That's why you need to define your roles ahead of time. And their coordination here suggests that they probably did.
Who are you guys?
We're Star Fox.
You'll never defeat Andros!
heading out. All aircraft report.
You did it!
Oh,
I was worried for a moment.
You're becoming more like your father.
I just realized I did the wrong boss to go the blue way.
I'm fine. You okay over there, Fox?
It's Autopilot, man. Absolute Autopilot doing that boss. I'm gonna have to remind myself here that I'm doing the blue path here. So let's go ahead and change course here. That might be the only boss we miss out on.
Impressive, Star Fox. Now watch out for enemies in the asteroid field.
All right.
I won't let you down, sir.
Good luck.
Quick word about language. When Fox says, I won't let you down, versus something like, I will accomplish the goal, might seem somewhat ticky-tack to pick that apart, but we all need to be very mindful of our language. I won't let you down presupposes a lot of things about Fox relative to General Pepper, which is that if Fox doesn't complete this task, it will be a letdown. May or may not be true. But it shows that letting people down is embedded within potential motivations for why Fox is doing what he's doing. Like, he doesn't want to let people down. Generally, what you want to do is try to define your goals in the affirmative by saying, this is what I will do, as opposed to this is what I won't do. So if you go into something like, I won't do this, is a really terrible goal, because even if you say that, the follow-up has to be, well, what will you do instead? So focusing on the affirmative is a really good way to get yourself into a mindset that moves you forward and biases you to look at the things that you can control to move you into a space of being able to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. It's small, but it's really meaningful, and it's something that I use with athletes all the time. Since Fox lost his own father, do you think he could be putting the Admiral into that role? I would say Peppy is probably the most likely to be in that role, not General Pepper. I think General Pepper's more utilitarian and kind of like giving him orders and, contracted him out for this, but Fox is a mercenary too. He's not actually contracted with the military.
Knock it off, Fox! It's quiet. Too quiet. Be careful, it's a trap! Use bombs wisely! Try a somersault!
I mean, he really can't help himself.
Here comes a big one.
At some point, you do have to let people figure things out. Again, this is a different context because they all need to survive and get the job done. Peppy is getting to a point where he might be overprotective,
Whoa!
and I would encourage Fox
Use the brake!
to maybe say to Peppy, if he's bothered by it, hey, dude, can you chill on the directives?
Use the boots to get through!
Especially if Fox is somebody that values autonomy and learning things on his own.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
Watch out, Fox! I'm getting careless. Thanks, Fox.
They're on me. I'm getting careless. When you evaluate something that's happening, there are two paths that you can take. Pepe kind of showed both of them here. First one is naming the thing, stating the facts, and evaluating what actually happened. And then the second thing is value attribution. Something that people do a lot when they are struggling or they perceive themselves as failing something is they will make a value attribution. They will assume that it is indicative of a broader pattern. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. In this case, Pepe is getting chased by enemies who are actively out to get him. And it stands to reason that in this context, we would get chased by these fighters. And then Pepe says, well, they're on me. Well, of course they are. That's what happens when we're here. But then he says, I'm getting careless, which is a personalization or value attribution that isn't necessarily useful to him. Because if he starts to believe that he's getting careless, that this is indicative of a broader pattern, then he may start to overcompensate for whatever he believes that means, that he's getting careless. And that may actually lead to further errors and then a self-fulfilling prophecy. You want to be very mindful not to over-personalize or make value attributions off of one-off circumstances. You can look at the ways that things fit into broader patterns, certainly, but don't let that be your go-to, or else you're going to find that your self-esteem is going to tank as a result, particularly if you only do it when you fail. If you're going to do it when you fail, then you better do it when you're successful as well, rather than taking that for granted. Jay, thank you very much for the sub, man.
The enemy coming from behind. Do a barrel roll. I guess it's your turn to be thanked.
Falco with a little tit for tat there. It's not a competition. If you believe that everybody else is participating in a competition with you when they're living life, you are destined to have some not very close relationships unless you surround yourself by other people who believe that life is a competition. You will often find that if you go into most circumstances with a competitive mindset, it's usually driven by insecurity. It's usually driven by projection. It often pushes people away, because most people don't like feeling like they're competing with people unless they're in a specifically defined scenario where you are actually competing with people. Falco very clearly has some sort of ledger going on in his subconscious that he is making known to Fox via passive aggression. And Fox seems to be able to brush it off. He's not saying anything to Falco as a result of that, which is probably the best way to handle it, because it allows Falco to just steep himself in those projections, and it doesn't really reinforce that that's an appropriate way to communicate with Fox. Why would an enemy come up from behind instead of head on? Really good. Humans have eyes, and foxes and hares and toads and falcons have eyes in the front. And so when you're facing forward, if you can see something coming at you, it gives you more time to respond. If you are facing forward and then something comes from behind, you are reliant on either other senses or your relationships to give you a heads up that something is coming. So it's a great way to catch your enemy off guard and to have an advantage because they don't have as much time to respond. It's a great question.
You want a piece of me? Take that!
Be mindful not to hijack the skill and accomplishments of the people you surround yourself with. You do not have the skill development that is equivalent to a person that you're with that has a higher skill development than you do. People actually do this a lot, where you'll be around somebody who is accomplishing something amazing, and if you personalize that and you're like, "Ooh, I'm also successful because I'm in proximity to this person doing a successful thing," that is not actually true, and you may actually end up pushing people away by doing that. So Slippy here starts talking shit to these enemies, and then I blow them up on his behalf. And he says, take that, as if he's the one that accomplished it. The reason that's bad in Slippy's case is because he is going to potentially overestimate his skill level. And if Fox isn't around to bail him out, he may actually do something stupid as a result. The importance of understanding our psychology and our issues is often because we need to be aware of our compensations for those things.
You can also lock onto enemies this way.
Yippee! You did it!
Never give up. Trust your instinct. Good going, Fox. Just shoot it, Fox.
Oh man, am I gonna get to 200 off the boss battle? Pepe's design as rabbit should have sideways eyeballs. It's true. This implies that Pepe's family has evolved to the carnivorous predators of the sci-fi future. So it would seem. His ability to operate heavy machinery would suggest that as well.
Let's see what you've got. That shield is absorbing the laser.
A great way to establish power is to suggest that you are evaluating somebody upon meeting them. So when this boss says, let's see what you've got, it inherently suggests that there is a hierarchy in which we are to display something to him. Great way to establish a power dynamic if that's something you're trying to do in a given context. Give off the sense that you're evaluating the moment. Gets people into their insecurities real fast.
You're more cunning than I thought. I've underestimated you.
Yeah, see? Condescension, really good. If I actually thought I was incompetent, he'd be up in my head. Yeah, I do need to do that, Victoria. Let me do that right now.
I'm no match
Done.
for you. I admit defeat.
Thank you for the reminder.
Are you gonna listen to that monkey? You're not as stupid as you look!
Ooh.
I can't believe I lost to this scum! Sorry to jet, but I'm in a hurry.
Yeah.
All aircraft report.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Everything's A-okay.
Is there some
You worry about your own hide.
is there some kind of symbolism to having anthropomorphic animals flying around in space instead of people? I think it allows us to be a little bit more divested from the reality that this would be a truly scary and difficult situation to be in. Ridiculous question. I love it. All right. Wow, I got the medal without doing the warp. I'll take that. I will take that. Wow.
Recover our base from the enemy army.
Roger, General.
Good luck.
Split up and take it to him.
Why do we sometimes have an impulse to clap back with retorts when faced with confrontation? A way to reestablish control. Confrontation is vying for power.
Time for a little payback.
So when somebody says something to you that you don't appreciate and feel a sense of defensiveness on, the best way to potentially reestablish power in our mind anyway is to clap back and try to get them to have the same experience that we're currently having. What that actually can do sometimes, though, is lessen the amount of power you have in a given situation because you appear to be reactive rather than responsive. And it's very important to understand that in interactions, a way that you actually can establish power is through responsiveness rather than reactivity.
Dead meat, pal.
It's often why we view emotional people as being weak. It's not because of the emotion, it's because of the reactivity and the lack of space between an emotional reaction and a behavioral response.
Scratch one boat.
Why are ships coming out of the base?
Time for
A bomb has been planted at the base.
Jeez. Can anyone take care of it? Can't let you do that, Starbuck.
Andros has ordered us to take you down.
Happy. Long time no see. Andros' enemy is my enemy. Just what I need to see. Star Wars. Let's take care of these guys first. I am the great Leon. That reward is Uncle Andros. Hey, gee, I've been saved by Fox. How swell.
Falco has shown repeatedly that when he is in any kind of submissive position where he needs help, he obviously has internalized that as him being some sort of problem or liability, and as a result, likely to potentially be removed from a context or seen as less than, which I would guess he maybe has a history potentially of a parental figure who taught him that his only way to be involved or participate in a system is to be useful. And I'm sure there's people watching this, and I realize this is a kind of a serious analysis because there are people watching this that actually understand what I'm saying here, is that when you internalize that competence is the only way that you belong, you will often see some really strong compensatory behavior when people perceive themselves as not being utilitarian. So Falco needing help from Fox is deeply vulnerable for him, because it means that maybe Fox in a position of leadership will evaluate him as not worthy of being part of the team, which would destroy his self-worth. So when Fox helps him, one of the ways that he overcompensates for that is by saying, gee, I've been saved by Fox, how swell, which implies that he didn't actually need the help and is a way to create distance from that vulnerability that comes up for him in that moment.
Shoot me down. That reward is good as mine. I can't move. You're dead meat, pal. This can't be happening. There's
Location
Oh
confirmed.
boy, Peppy's in big
Sending
trouble.
supply.
Ah!
take care of the bomb now.
Oh, I don't think you can medal if you lose a... Damn it. Oh well. I mean, this one, it takes longer to go blue path on this, so I'm just gonna switch over.
We made it!
Well,
Heavy ship is in the docking bay.
That was a close call, Fox.
and we lost our boy. Yeah, damn it. We won't have Peppy for Sector X.
Reports indicate that Andros is working on some secret weapon.
I'll check it out.
Good luck.
All right. Did we lose Peppy because he was too concerned with protecting Fox? Very well could be. There's a saying that I like very much. You've probably heard me say it on streams before, which is that you should never set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. The people who are most guilty of doing this are people who have deeply internalized caregiver as their role for the people around them. The thing that people who are caregivers constantly need to be mindful of, if they are to engage meaningfully with the people around them, is that the people around you are capable of doing things without you. That it is their choice to allow you to help. There are a lot of caregivers who will become resentful martyrs where they will overdo it. They'll push past their own boundaries out of this deep sense that they need to take care of others, which is the setting yourself on fire part. And that actually can be to your own detriment. In this case, Peppy died or had his ship taken out as a result of this. Or it can be to the detriment of your relationships, because if you're constantly overextending yourself when people aren't asking you to do it and are capable of doing it themselves, you may actually end up becoming a resentful martyr, and that is one of the most difficult people to connect with. There is, if your self-worth is dependent on the well-being of others and not yourself, you need to reevaluate that. You have to be included in that. And in order to include yourself in that, it means you have to set boundaries. And Peppy, unfortunately, has wrenches over his face right now because of his unwillingness to do that.
Let's take out that weapon, boys. Let's have a little fun. Enemy group behind us. Man, they're fast.
Oh, I should have waited to use a bomb here. This is a better place to use a bomb. Or the minefield's actually a better place to use the bomb. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody feed us here. It's all gone.
How great is this texture pack, man? Boom! What the heck was that?
What the heck is that?
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
I can't wait to see this secret weapon.
I'm not going to do the warps here. Because I want to fight the boss. But... oh, God.
I found the gate. Looks like a warp.
Yeah, it is, Falco.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
Thank you, Rob.
Something's not right here. Who took this base out?
Maybe I should have gone right. I always go left.
Hurry up or you're toast!
Or you break and you don't have to worry about any of it, Falco. Now, something that's quite interesting here is we're seeing Falco step in Pepe's absence. Normally, Pepe would be the one that's trying to take care of Fox here. And because he's not there, we're seeing a equilibrium exposed on this system. Which is actually kind of interesting because Fox is the leader, yet everybody feels a sincere sense of need to take care of him and direct him. It could be that they understand the gravity of taking this mission on, given the fact that this is the mission his father took on, and so they're imagining that perhaps he's preoccupied with that and they need to step in and help. It could be that they genuinely care about him. It could be any combination of any factors. But the equilibrium of this system is built such that there's a sense that Fox needs constant direction in order to engage at his best with the enemies around him and with the mission. And so with Pepe gone, Falco is drawing upon this sense that he's next in line to fill that role. And we see this happen in systems all the time. Sometimes some of the best ways to get a sense of what the homeostatic mechanisms of a system are by removing a certain member from the group to see what happens in response. To any of you who are actually watching this on YouTube. Also, thanks for being here, Twitch chat.
What the heck? Fox, look behind you! So this is the secret weapon.
Destroy. Destroy. Enemy shield analyzed.
All right, I'm gonna do this
I will terminate all
so that I
enemies.
get the blue, because you need the storyline for this. So
You are an enemy. You are an enemy. Where is the creator?
what's he
What's
saying?
he saying?
You are an enemy. Where is the creator?
What's he saying?
I mean, it's pretty clear what he's saying.
Yippee! You did it!
Huh? What?
The view is clear. Destroy.
Oh God!
Destroy what?
Whoa!
He's crazy.
Whoa!
Let me handle this.
Slippy!
Slippy!
Man, if you've got this built-up sense that you're supposed to show yourself, choosing a particularly dangerous moment to do it is not your best option. And Slippy here chose this moment to be a hero. Probably to prove himself, because people tend to be a bit hard on him. And he chose a moment where we're working with something where we clearly don't know what it is. And it's a secret weapon. And I admire Slippy wanting to show up for the team. But with Peppy down, and without Fox giving him a directive here as the leader, that was really dangerous, and now puts us in a precarious position where we have to make a determination of what do we do about this. Slippy just injected an unknown variable or an extra variable into a moment that did not need it. And you got to be careful with picking your spots when you're trying to show up, especially when you are somebody who is relative to a leader.
Destroy. Destroy.
You speak about
I must be
having to
complete.
compartmentalize things like loss in order to get hit done. Imagine that's what this team is feeling with Peppy. Yeah.
Rob, can you confirm Slippy's location?
Distress signal coming from Titania. Repairs complete on Peppy's ship.
Slippy can be such a headache.
It's a really good way for Falco to save face, to say Slippy's stupid so that he appears to be more competent. The other thing that so talking about compartmentalizing things, like losing Slippy in this case or not having Peppy. Yeah, that's a necessary skill, and the way that you do that is through selective focus. You have to acknowledge that the loss of Peppy and Slippy is a variable that you can no longer control. So what is the most immediate thing in front of you that you can control? It's not about putting away the fact that that's an important thing to attend to. It's about recognizing and prioritizing. It comes down to executive functioning in a time of adversity and chaos that's requiring you to respond to what's happening in the environment.
What are you doing? It's too dangerous there.
I can't leave Slippy hanging.
So we've decided to go get Slippy. We're derailing the mission a bit here because of Slippy's impulsivity. Slippy's sense of incompetence or desire to impress is not what got him in trouble here. What got Slippy in trouble here was his choice when that was his perception that he engaged with.
Give me Slippy's location, Rob.
Also, side note, this mission's awesome, and it's underappreciated because most people like to go to Macbeth.
There's rocky terrain dead ahead. A magnetic storm. We'll search here. Use bomb quietly. I think you look better in a tank.
Thanks,
Why
Falco.
don't you come down here, Falco?
Ooh, there we go.
I'll pass, Fox.
Nice. So Fox hit his limit. He needed to clap back a little bit here. It's become clear that Falco is really doing a lot of compensating and posturing, and Fox decided that it's time to show Falco that a response is warranted. I let this go. I didn't reinforce this for a while, and now I'm going to make it very clear that you could come down here if you wanted to, which is going to hit him right in the insecurity. He chose not to.
Can sure be a pain in the neck.
It's a good move.
Don't go too fast, Falco.
Good night, Victoria. Thanks for the amazing questions.
Enemy fighters coming at you, Fox. Try hovering.
Ah.
The barrel roll, press C or R twice.
Oh. Do I have a Nintendo 64 controller in my R-Wing, Peppy?
Are you okay? Use the boost to get through.
There will be no metal on this one.
Try hovering.
Oh, God.
Use bomb blaster.
Oh boy. Oh.
Lock on the enemy. These guys just keep coming. Incoming. Don't be.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
Shoot! He's right behind you.
Falco.
I can't shake this guy.
Falco, buddy.
I guess you're good for something.
Oh, okay. Sure. Guess you're good for something. Right, again. Overcompensation for perceived weakness. Which he's totally projecting onto Fox. These are things that happen. I'm not put out by the fact that I need to help him in a time of adversity here. It's what we expect when we're in this kind of position.
Just a bit further.
But his projection is leading to judgment on himself that he then assumes that his leader
That you,
has.
Slippy?
And it bogs down
I'll be there soon.
his ability to connect and realistically evaluate the environment he's in.
Slippy!
I knew you'd come help me.
We got you, Slippy.
Let me get a piece of that action, Fox. Take out his arms, Fox.
I made it. I'll analyze right away.
Nice, Slippy.
Data analysis complete. Here it comes.
Ba-bam. You think Slippy jumped back to work immediately to try to show that he isn't as incompetent as the team might think? It's a great hypothesis.
I thought I was goner.
We're always saving your hide, Slip. I'm sure he's learned his lesson. When we get back, we'll head to Venom.
Yeah, so what helps Slippy through that? Internalized objects is a great hypothesis, Skog. Basically, when you are in a really compromised situation, or you're struggling emotionally, or actually, you carry around your relationships and friends as objects in your mind. They're oversimplified versions of your friends or of your caregivers. But we draw upon that sometimes to create a emotional sense of safety when people are not available to us. So Slippy's ability to stay calm there is potentially due to the fact that he has internalized our team as being reliable to him. And I like Peppy going with the behavioral reinforcement side of things of Slippy likely learned his lesson because the compromised position he was in was unpleasant enough to be perceived as a punishment.
If you destroy the satellite, we can go straight for Venom. Be careful, Fox.
Kind of like when Mufasa appeared in the clouds in Lion King. Yes, exactly. Like, we could make an argument.
Okay, guys, destroy all barriers.
We could make an argument that Fox's father is with him right now.
Aim for the 6 energy towers. I'll cover you, Fox. Time for a little payback.
Come on.
You're Party
The hell?
is mine.
There we go.
Get
Oh.
out of my way! Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side!
Those ships are shielded too.
Thank you for the raid.
You are not taking him
My
down
stream elements
today.
thing is broken, so objection. Thank you for bringing people my way. I appreciate that.
You're not getting away that easy.
Welcome to
I
a
won't let you get away from me!
satirical
They
stream.
don't give up.
Lampooning myself. I'm doing a psychological analysis of Star Fox 64
What's taking so long, Fox?
as a way to celebrate my belated birthday.
You're not getting away that easy.
Well, thank you, Objection. That's kind of you to say.
Hey! The force field is disappearing! Looks like we've got company.
Here we go.
Fox, get this.
Your father helped me like that, too!
Woo!
So, Peppy, as a caregiver, is likely going to struggle with, and therefore potentially even reject, being taken care of by the people that he takes care of. And again, Fox is in a bit of a weird situation relative to Peppy, because Fox is the leader of the squadron, yet Peppy feels this sense of obligation to Fox to take care of him, probably as a legacy for James, as we talked about back on Corneria. So when Fox bails Peppy out here, and then he says, your father helped me like that too, I think it's one, Peppy not wanting to necessarily fully acknowledge that he needed help there, because it means then that he can't help Fox. But it also is a way to take care of Fox in this moment as well, by saying what you just did is awesome because your father was great. So keep it going, man. You're living up to the legacy. So there's many layers to the ways that we can take care of each other. But Peppy's comments there about James taking care of him too, I think is potentially a way to also acknowledge the fact that James sits with Fox and with Peppy. But it's something that a lot of caregivers will do, is they will struggle so much with being taken care of that they'll even try to find ways to take care of the people that take care of them in the times that they get taken care of.
That was too close.
Pretty strong identity that
Gee,
people
I've
can
been
hold.
saved by Fox. How swell. Good, I see the enemy core.
Food, says Peppy.
Knock it off, Fox.
And I will remind caregivers
There's one down.
that time and again, the thing that people who are taken care of by caregivers want for their caregivers is for their caregivers to also take care of themselves.
Confirmed. Sending supplies.
And taking care of yourself is not taking away from or harming the people that you take care of.
Destroy the satellite core.
Working on it, Peppy.
I won't let you get away from me. Scratch one boat.
You're not getting away that easy.
Well, bam. Why is the text all screwy? The texture pack messes it up. I don't really know why, but I love the texture pack, so.
Venom, here we come.
All right. By the way, if this is your first exposure to me, if you like the analysis that I'm doing on this game, which I'm straddling a line between like lampooning myself and giving legitimate analysis, check out my other playthroughs on YouTube. Because if you like popular games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War Ragnarok and The Last of Us, I actually go through and dissect those games and analyze them. I'm a licensed therapist if you've never met me before, and I play games and I analyze them to help educate folks. So if you like what you've seen already, check out my other more legitimate playthroughs.
We're not done yet. Time to show the monkeys who's boss. They're everywhere. These guys just keep coming. Don't go dying on me.
So we're seeing two things happen simultaneously. We're seeing a sense of empowerment in the team. We've made it this far. This is what we've been going for. So there's some real juice flowing. There's excitement. But because foxes and humans and rabbits and frogs and falcons don't easily differentiate between anxiety and excitement, we're seeing this increased physiological arousal in the form of excitement also get conflated with anxiety. So we're seeing in like Pepe and Falco specifically, there's like this, yeah, we got this. And then also like, don't you go dying on me. There's so many of them. So they're bouncing back and forth between this sense of empowerment and the utter anxiety of the fact that we've now made it and the pressure's building. And it's usually really helpful to carefully consider the fact that you can actually misread your physiological sensations sometimes. And maybe it is a little bit of both here. There's anxiety and there's excitement. But the important thing is that we focus on the task at hand. We can accomplish this mission while anxious and while excited. We don't want to get carried away by that by overly indulging it or compensating for it. We want to use it to our advantage.
Brace yourself!
You'll be sorry, Pop.
I'll take the left. I've got the right. You've got an enemy on your tail. Incoming! These guys don't quit. I'll take the left.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
I've got the right.
You notice the Pepe and Falco are talking a lot, but Slippy isn't. And I would guess that as an overcompensation for the fact that Slippy engaging with excitement and going ham back in Sector X has likely led to an overcompensation where Slippy's now like, yeah, I'm just gonna follow. I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm not gonna contribute here. Falco and Pepe are like full speed ahead, and Slippy's not. And I'm guessing that's probably because of what he learned relatively not far away from the past, where he got himself in trouble when he spoke up and engaged that way. So in some ways I can appreciate that he's stepping back, but you don't need to overcompensate Slippy. You can just kind of, I like the energy. We just don't want to make stupid decisions. We want to make smart ones.
Watch out, Hawk!
It's kind of you to say indirect. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh, jeez.
You okay? Hold together just a bit further.
Yeah, well, doing all right, Pepe. Focus on yourself, big guy.
This brings back memories of your dad.
Yeah. Yeah, he...
You can never defeat me.
Jeez Louise, what is that?
Yeah, Peppy's got more experience. I think that's why he wasn't as
That
overcompensatory
temple
for it.
free.
Not completely yet, Claire. We're going to get to that one on the next run. Talked a little bit about it on Corneria, but...
What's going on? He's running away.
Stay alert!
I love this boss fight, by the way.
Don't get too close, Fox.
It's such a great, like, check on whether you can multitask this.
Data analysis complete. Here it comes.
Nah.
I'll go it alone from here.
Fox!
So Fox's desire to do this alone, I think, is a bit misguided. And it comes back to what we talked about on Corneria with this whole legacy. Fox believes that he owes it to his dad to avenge his death. And I think Fox also is taking all this internalized pressure that he's likely experienced, somewhat borrowed from the external, but also maybe driven by his own desire to overcompensate for his dad failing. And he's trying to take care of his crewmates by saying, all right, back off, guys. I'm going to go do this myself, so that he is the one that is solely responsible for avenging his father's death. It might actually be very difficult for him if, let's say, Falco dealt the final blow, or if he did what his father, or he didn't do what his father couldn't do. At least then Peppy, Slippy, and Falco are around. So there's a whole swirl of stuff that's likely going on for him. Maybe even that, like, I don't know that we can actually survive this. And so if we are going to survive it, I don't want to lose anybody along the way because I already lost my dad. If I die here, maybe it's no big deal because then they'll just try again and I don't have to deal with all the grief that I've experienced from my dad. It could be any number of things, but I think we're seeing Fox be a bit misguided in his decision-making here, likely as a part of this need to fulfill that family legacy. Because I think if he didn't have his dad's death to avenge here, he'd probably more likely have said, all right, I need you guys with me because this is what we've been pushing for. I also respect that all three of them followed Fox's directive here and didn't break rank and didn't choose to follow. The other thing, and I will say also from a performance standpoint, the one thing that I will give Fox kudos for is he's reducing the amount of variables he has to attend to. Andros is his sole focus now. He only needs to respond to what Andros brings to him, rather than having to attend to Falco, Slippy, and Peppy in addition to this. It's me, my emotional experience, and Andros, and I've got to respond to those as intentionally as possible, and I'm going to declutter this and go at it on my own. I give him credit for that if that's what he needs.
I've been waiting for you, Star Fox.
Ah,
Know
galaxy.
that I control the galaxy.
It's foolish to come against me.
It's foolish to come against me.
You will die just like your father.
Die just like your father.
Guessing Andros is trying to leverage the fact that he has knowledge on Fox. It's a way to maintain power and to bring James McLeod as much into the forefront as possible. He knows that Fox is thinking about this, but he can crystallize that a little bit more by acknowledging that not just his father, but that his father is dead, and also that he is the one that contributed to it. It's actually a pretty decent move. Some people might be like, well, Andros, why would you do that? You're only going to get Fox fueled up. He's only going to push harder. That's not necessarily good either. Any kind of overcompensation that Fox does in reaction to Andros saying that is a move in the direction of Andros having the upper hand. Fox needs to hear that and say, I'm not responding to that. I'm focused on the next thing ahead of me. He's saying that because he wants me off guard. I'm going to keep focused on what I need to focus on. Really good move from a power standpoint on Andros to try to throw Fox off here. But it also potentially shows that Andros is maybe threatened by the fact that Fox has made it this far and has the extra conviction of his father. And he wants to spin that in a direction that's going to hurt Fox instead of him. Oh no, I boosted. I didn't want to boost there. Oh. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. God, this single laser sucks. Oh. Yeah. Thank you, Jin. Look at that, getting out of here with busted ass wings.
Fox, are you okay?
Yes! You did it!
Okay, I'll admit it. You did good, Fox.
$8.95. All right. So Fox, I mean, I get, killed Andros, fulfills a family legacy, but also there is a dynamic here that Fox is probably not prepared for, which is that when you avenge somebody's death or make good on something that you feel you owe to somebody that's gone, that can actually really kickstart a profound grief process. The reason being is that people bind grief sometimes to vengeance. And one of the ways you keep a person alive sometimes internally is through the proxy. So Andros's existence continues to keep Fox's dad around. Now that Andros is gone, what does Fox bind his father to? And that is something that a lot of people aren't really prepared for when it happens. So he potentially is going to have a swirl of mixed emotion here, and now that Andros has been taken care of and he's fulfilled his duty to the galaxy, because there's very much a now what that can happen with that, which is often why people will talk about revenge not being particularly fulfilling, because the then what is often not something that people have prepared for. For Peppy, this is probably a really strong moment because Fox was able to do what James wasn't, and Peppy had in many ways taken care of him throughout that process. So Peppy likely feels very fulfilled. James is avenged, Fox is safe, Galaxy is good, and I helped. And yeah, there's a real chance that Fox would struggle with his own purpose and identity relative to this, because if he wrapped up all of his identity growing up in, I'm going to avenge my father, now what? Why you got to be careful not to define yourself relative to other people. Or at least not in its entirety.
Star Fox, we are in your debt. I would be honored to have you as part of the Cornerian.
Oh, no, sir. We prefer doing things our own way.
Great Fox is ready to go.
It's time for us to go now.
Oh. Second favorite soundtrack in the game right here. But yeah, what do you do now? Is a question that a lot of people have to answer for, and it's really tough. By the way, I appreciate you making it through run 1. We're gonna do probably one more. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do all 3, because I'm guessing the next one's probably gonna take about an hour. This took a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna take. We'll see how I feel. Oh, right here. Oh. Little trumpet. Oh. Oh. What? He's still around? Oh no.
This is one steep bill, but it's worth it.
Cool, $57,000. That's it. That's all it costs. $57,000. This is pre-inflation. All right, here we go. Round 2. You got the Corneria analysis, so we're gonna burn through Corneria, but then we're going the other route. Let's see what happens now.
Corneria.
See what other dynamics we can analyze. Thanks for hanging in there.
It's about time you showed up, Fox. You're the only hope for our world.
Good luck.
Work pace sucks in this galaxy for sure. All right, here we go. I used to get annoyed that you couldn't just like pick what planet you wanted to do in this game. You always had to start with Corneria.
Slippy! Hey, what's the big idea?
Slippy flies right in front of me.
Slippy, watch out! Bogey on your tail!
Whoa! Help me! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
We're entering Corneria City now. This is horrible. Everybody stay alert! You've got an enemy on your tail. Use the brake. I'll take this one. Get the one behind me. Something's wrong with the G diffuser. Use the booster case.
Oh shit.
I guess I should be
God, I had to
thankful.
use all 3 bombs there for Falco because I'm a freaking loser.
Do a barrel roll.
I used to be able to, I used to time that perfectly.
Pretty smooth flying, Fox.
Oh, I know.
Follow me, Fox.
Falco, where are you going?
Falco, where you going? I found the target. Try to keep up. Time for a little payback. Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side. Gotcha!
Got it.
Ah, someone wants to play.
Incoming enemy from the rear. Drop altitude.
See, now you can all use what you learned from the last playthrough to understand this one better.
Enemy field analyzed.
That's what it's all about.
Deploy all units. Charge! I've got a present for you.
That's it, Fox. That's it. Aim for the open spot. Yeah! It's working!
Who are you guys?
We're
We're
Star
Star
Fox.
Fox.
You'll never defeat Andros!
We're heading out. All aircraft report.
You did it! I was worried for a moment.
You're becoming more like your father. I'm fine. You okay over there, Fox?
That poor guy was obviously not in the know from Andros. The fact that he didn't know that Star Fox is a threat, man, Andros really hanging his guys out to dry. All right, Sector Y time. Here we go.
Fox, we're under attack. Help us out here.
I'm on my way.
Good luck.
go. Man, Sector Y looks cool.
Let's back up the squadron. Somebody's gonna pay for all this.
These monkey guys have like no armor.
Any of them through. Something's wrong. I don't see anything.
Surprise attack coming from above! Hold them! They're trying to get through! Good job! Keep up the pace!
Good encouragement from Peppy, right? Suggest things are going well.
The enemy's coming from behind!
Instead of giving directives, he just says, hey, you're doing a good job. Knows he's a trusted confidant for, or not confidant, he's just a trusted peer for Fox.
I'll take care of everything below.
I don't have any bombs. This is a perfect bomb spot.
Aha! Got pipes in the eh? Escaping? I don't think so. Hey! Leave me alone!
You talked a lot of shit, Slippy. You gotta back it up. Slippy's got a lot of extra bravado because he's surrounded by people who are incredibly competent. Which, again, we talked about. That can be his undoing sometimes. He'll make dumb decisions because he's
Take him down with
prepared
one
for
shot.
us to back him up. And that's not always possible.
We're gonna break through that fleet. You're becoming a better pilot. Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
I think Fox rightly has some extra confidence here as well.
Something's up ahead. Looks different.
All range mode.
All range mode. Let's go.
Enemy shield analyzed.
Shoot, I'm taking damage. Good job. Keep up the good work.
Boom. What animal do we think? Animal do we think Einstein was?
just yet.
Right?
It's time to try our new weapon. Got you, little freak.
Shoot, I'm taking damage.
This guy's resulted in name calling. Think that it's gonna piss us off enough that we're gonna
Got you, little freak.
lose control. Yeah, name calling is a way that people often think that they can exert undue influence onto somebody and force them out of their plan or ring of competence. That is rarely the case. Like, throwing just a random insult at somebody is not generally likely to actually affect them. People get affected when you can cut deep because you know a way to connect with them in the insult. So this guy just saying cocky little freaks, it's more of a reflection of his own frustration of the moment and his own sense of incompetence than it is his actual ability to throw us off guard. So he's calling us names because he thinks that's going to make us mad and then overcompensate and do something stupid. But the reality is we're all just kind of laughing at him and he's showing his own hand. And that's usually what you look like when you just name call when you're mad. Which is why we often view it as being a very immature way to handle
Watch the radar carefully, Fox.
adversity or conflict.
Slippy's hit!
Cocky little freak.
What's wrong? Is that it? What's wrong? Is that it?
Yeah. See ya.
We're heading for Auckland. Report in.
There you go.
Your skills have improved, Fox.
Thanks, Peppy.
I guess you're good for something.
Falco, always diminishing as a way to compensate for his own sense of insecurity about his worth. It's just not a good look, man. Not a good look. You don't want to be that person. I promise you. We got so close to a medal on that, too. Gosh darn it. Who's your favorite character? My favorite character as a kid was always Falco. I always thought Falco was cool. Mostly because I thought he looked cool.
Star Fox, I want you to take out the enemy bioweapon.
Yes, sir. Deploy the Blue Marine.
Now I'm a little bit more endeared to Slippy, I think. Alrighty, here we go. Blue Marine with a hint of purple, apparently.
I'm gonna check out the bioweapon.
Yeah, you are.
I'm sending the data to you guys. Shoot a torpedo to help you see. Looks like the pollution has started.
Awful.
Sure is. I like that eels in this game explode.
Wow. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Don't get distracted, Slippy. Gotta make sure you stay on point here, bud.
How's the Blue Marine, Fox?
It's a good thing you prepared, Slip. This thing will never hold together.
So again, like, what makes Falco so off-putting, I think, is that Falco is constantly comparing himself. And we talked about this in the last run. Life's a competition. And so he's viewing himself in terms of utility, autonomy, leadership, competence. Peppy acknowledges that Slippy did a great job preparing and setting up the Blue Marine. And Falco immediately diminishes that because Falco personalizes other people getting positive feedback. If somebody else is getting positive feedback, it must mean that they are in higher favor than I am, or that I haven't done enough, or I need to somehow diminish them in order to get myself back in a favorable position. And again, this is incredibly off-putting because we tend to be drawn to people who will celebrate other people's accomplishments. Slippy doing a great job with the Blue Marine is not in any way a slight on Falco. It's not in any way even a reflection of Falco's competence or usefulness to the team. It's a reflection of Slippy's usefulness to the team, and we are that. We're a team. So if Falco looks at Slippy's ability to do something like this and then says, well, I can't do that, thus, oh my God, core vulnerability of I'm not useful to the team, well, let me diminish that so it seems like it's less important to Fox and to everybody else. And it also just, makes it seem like I know more than they do as a result. And it puts him back in that position in his mind. The reality is that's what's going to get him ousted from the group. Not everybody else doing. And you know what, Grizz? You make a great point, buddy. And I have been sufficiently put in my place as it relates to that. I have not shot at an eel underwater with a blue submarine.
Do a barrel roll.
Also, good to see you, bud. You think Falco is worried about being cut from the team? No, but I do think that Falco overestimates the utility of his competence and the importance of him constantly being the one who is good to go.
Look out behind you!
That overestimation, I think, hurts him a lot. Because again, his compensatory behaviors for that will cause issues. And that's often the case for people. Compensatory behaviors can actually be...
You're the best, Slippy.
Thanks, Peppy.
This thing will never hold together.
Oh, this thing's...
Are you okay?
Struggling a little bit here, Slip.
I got a bad feeling about this, Fox.
Yeah, this isn't great.
Watch out, Fox!
Oh, that was clutch.
I found the bioweapon.
Oh, man.
Woo, you're all right.
Hanging by a thread here. Boom.
Enemy field analyzed.
Aim for the 2 columns.
Fire a homing torpedo.
That's it, Fox.
Fire a homing torpedo.
That's it, Fox.
Bam. See ya.
Go for the eyes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Come on, baby. One more. Boom.
Yippee! You
Woo.
did it!
close.
We're preparing to dock. Thanks, Slip. Blue Marine came through. Slippy's not such a screw-up after all.
Thanks a lot, Peppy.
I'll take the sky any day.
Sheesh, Falco. You too.
That could be a really good, meaningful point of advocacy on Fox's part, is in that moment to say, Slippy, I really mean it. That was incredibly helpful. Peppy, Falco, back off of him a little bit, guys. Because I think even though Slippy takes that in stride, and I think can acknowledge that they're kind of making fun of him, and he claps back a little bit. That's a big moment for Slippy. That's Slippy's main point of like, wow, I really contributed in a super meaningful way to this team. And Fox saying thanks, it held up, is huge. And then for him to come in on the back end and tell Peppy and Falco to back off, it's not him cutting into the camaraderie. It's him saying, like, take Slippy seriously. Very important for leaders to advocate for people that get picked on or singled out when group dynamics are present. Like, that kind of allyship to people who are getting a hard time can really make a difference, especially over time. Oh, I do need to do that, Scott. You know what? Oh, shit. I don't know that I want to do it right now. I will, I have one in the bank. Please remind me that I have one in the bank.
There's an enemy base there?
Affirmative, General.
Good luck.
Alrighty. Gotta take out the shirts lights. Ooh, this is...
Let's sneak in low and surprise them. This is donuts? I can't believe they did this.
What a dump.
I hear you, Slippy.
Look out for the searchlight.
Let's take them all out.
Let's take them all out.
Fox, get this guy off me. Hey, this is really starting to tick me off.
Slippy.
Ah, I'm hit.
Follow your father's example, Fox.
We're closing in on them, Falco. Take the right one, boy. I have the left.
Cat, what are you doing here?
Is that any way to greet a girl?
Now there's clearly some history here between Cat and Falco. And if I'm Fox,
Hey, what? Whoa!
though I'm happy that Cat is here to help, there's a part of him that may not appreciate her being here, because now she creates a variable that is on Falco's mind and may be distracting him. I don't know what their history is. They clearly have one. And that's a problem if you're a leader
I've got somebody on my tail.
who is trying to, you know, get a mission done, right? So like, and then Cat gets in trouble. So now there's another variable that we're having to attend to here,
Aim for the runner, Fox.
which
Knock it off, Fox.
Not all help is good help.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
Enemy tanker! You've got an enemy on your tail.
Oh, great.
Here I go!
Enemy fighter spotted. Take him down.
Make way for tech.
These guys don't quit.
Get out of the way, Falco. Oh my god.
Shoot! I can't shake this guy. Oh man,
great.
I'm gonna have to back off.
Awesome. Oh man. What's up, Tiora?
Be careful, it might be a trap.
Something's coming from the sea.
Oh, losing Falco there sucks, man. Now, we would expect that this is going to be a huge blow to Falco's ego. Right? Like, oh man, I got to back off. Now he's sitting in in Great Fox wondering, like, did I profoundly mess up? And his evaluation of that is likely to be less about an accurate evaluation of Fox's orientation toward him and more of whatever he learned that need to be competent from. So if you're Falco in that scenario, you have to acknowledge the reality of the situation. Is Fox somebody who is going to disown you from the group because you had to back off? Or perhaps is Fox more of a person who will respect the decision for you to leave instead of put yourself at risk, where you could get your ship back to Great Fox, get it repaired, and be ready for the next journey? This is where our projections get us in trouble, because we make assumptions about other people that are not necessarily true, and then those people have to wade through that bullshit. So Falco needs to make this less about his competence and more about the good decision he made to leave, and that this is something that inevitably could happen in this scenario. If he takes it too personally and he dives too deep down that wormhole, it's not going to actually help. It's only going to make things worse.
Disrespectful little whelps. I'll teach you some respect.
Enemy shield analyzed.
Slippy is struggling. Boom, got them both at once. Hell yeah.
Drop the crane now. Shoot.
That should give you an idea for just how messed up I was when we were doing the crowd control.
All aircraft report.
Thought I was a goner.
Everything's A-OK. Okay. Falco ship is in the docking bay.
Oh, 242. I'm pretty sure 250 is the metal on this. Man. Yep, man. Rusty. Here we go. Sector Z. Sector Z is always a bit intense.
The enemy army is gunning for you. Be careful.
Don't worry, sir.
Good luck.
Don't worry. Not a useful platitude there, it's Fox. Hey, I understand and acknowledge your worry. We're doing everything we can to control the situation. Telling somebody who's worried not to worry never
Enemy
works.
approaching from the left. We'll gladly take this one.
All right, here we go.
There's one down.
I always had a very hard time meddling Sector Z when I was a kid.
Fox, get this guy off me!
Slippy, go fly through a silver ring or something, bud. Oh, God.
This is really starting to tick me off!
Yeah.
Whew! That was too close!
I do appreciate Slippy's willingness to just ask for help when needed. One thing I give the crew a lot of credit for is when they need assistance, they're not afraid to ask. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Oh, da, 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 da.
6 missiles coming from the left.
You're not getting...
Missile 1 is heading for Great Fox. Here it comes. I won't let you get away from me. Missiles 2 and 3 approaching.
I'm heading for the missile now!
Always from the left.
I won't let you get away from me.
Fox, get this guy off me!
Oh, Slippy, I gotta deal with some missiles here, bud.
Missile approaching. Distance 50.
This is really starting to tick me off!
Take care of the guy behind me, Fox.
Fox, get this guy off me! Are you gonna hug all the fun? Let me help you out.
Yeah, why don't you get these people off of Slippy and Peppy for me? Because, boy, oh howdy, are they,
I won't let you get away from me.
Whew! That was too close!
Missiles 4, 5, and 6 approaching.
Make way for Cat.
I won't let
Oh,
you get away
shit.
from me.
Missile approaching. Distance 50.
Beautiful. I could kiss you for that.
Missile approaching. Distance 20.
Oh no.
Distance 10. Unable
Oh, no.
to evade.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Kiss you for that.
Oh. Oh my god, that was so close. Holy shit.
You're on your own. Good luck, little man.
Ooh. Thank you. Oh, Falco wasn't here to hear her. So we don't get that sweet relationship dynamic. Holy crap. Oh, that was...
Rob, is everything okay?
Gray Fox is okay. Repairs complete on Falco ship.
We've got the bad guys on the run.
Don't worry. Slippy's here.
3 away! Oh, man, 3 away. Bummer. All right. Area 6.
It's almost over. We're in your debt. Come back in one piece, Fox.
Will do, General.
Good luck.
I like that. Come back
Came
in one
here.
piece.
No problems. Do you copy? Emergency maneuvers!
I don't think Great Fox is capable of that
Too
kind of
late.
maneuver.
Game over, pal.
All right, we got a confident squad. Got to be careful here. I'm on a goddamn single laser.
Entering Venom Air Defense Zone. Everybody stay alert.
Space mine's ahead.
Bogey behind me. Am I getting slow?
Right, same thing as Peppy. Makes a value attribution here. This isn't about your speed, Falco. This is about the fact that circumstance would dictate that you would have guys on your ass sometimes.
Hold still and let me shoot you.
Gray Fox will cover you.
Incoming enemy missile!
Shoot them down. We're being marked.
Did we get him?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet, sir. They're on me. I'm getting careless. What's taking you so long, Fox?
Fox, or Peppy, my man.
Ah, the sun appears to cloud. Those tin cans are no match for me. I'm looking forward to this.
Right, Andros is the master, man. Again, reminds him of James. I've been looking forward to this, which means that he's acting as if he's known, so he's not caught off guard. Right, so now if we thought we had the element of surprise, we don't. He's really good at basically suggesting that he is in control at all times. And that's what a good villain does.
We're gonna break through that streak. They're through the second line!
Gray Fox will cover you.
Fire! Fire! Don't let them through!
Venom! I'm monkey food.
God damn it.
Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
The last line has been breached!
These guys are crazy! Okay, deploy it now!
Oh, man, 280. That's not gonna get it done, but man, that's close.
Crud! We were so close to Venom. Yeah! It's working!
Well, I love the little biohazard signal in this on the texture pack. Or the nuke symbol, yeah, I guess.
Shoot the tentacles to open the core!
Come on. There we go. Flashing light warning. Coming at you.
Watch out, Fox!
All right, you good? No more flashing?
Destroy all 3 energy balls! The gear is on! Shoot the core!
All right. Cleared 1,000 and we haven't even done Venom 2 yet.
Hold on! We're entering Venom airspace!
All right, it's a big moment for Fox here. Avenge your father's death.
Say your prayers, Andros!
You learned that Andros wasn't dead on the last time.
Don't get too cocky, Star Fox.
Let's see how you handle our new ships.
Too bad Dad's not here to see you fail.
So, Pigma being here is likely to be one of the more unsettling presences for both Peppy and for Fox, because Pigma betrayed Fox's father. So there is a potential subconscious association with Pigma as being capable of the worst and ruthless and cunning. And he is likely to be the person that Fox sets his sights on potentially if he's not mindful of the situation. Pigma very well could be there as a distractor for Wolf, Because if everybody does a beeline towards Pigma, maybe that's expected. And from a tactic standpoint, Wolf and Leon and Andrew might be able to take advantage of that. So the presence of Pigma is something that needs to be acknowledged. But then again, you move your focus back to what is at hand here. Peppy is the same thing. Peppy was good friends with James and may feel that he needs to take Pigma out because maybe he associates Pigma with the death of James even more than Andros and wants to avenge James's death. The worst mistake that Peppy could make would be thinking that he needs to do that for Fox. The hope would be that knowing that Pigma is out there, that Peppy and Fox potentially had a conversation about what you would do if Pigma ever showed up and how you would engage in that level of mindfulness. But him bringing James to the forefront, again, is a tactic that works really well because everybody's assuming that James is something that will distract Fox. And if Fox hasn't done the work necessary to remove his sense of responsibility for his father, they very well could be right and get the upper hand as a result. So it's a good tactic they use to bring James up. It's really on Fox's... It's on Fox to figure out what that's going to mean for him to have the ghost of his father following him around and to have people continue to unearth him and try to bring him present while he's trying to accomplish things. It's a really good way to get under his skin if he doesn't do the work.
We'll make sure you never reach Andros. We'll just see about that, Star Wolf. You guys don't give up. Give it up. You can't win. I'm gonna bust you up real good. You're not. Your father helped me like that too. Come on, little man. Shoot me. You're good, but I'm better.
I'll take care of you.
I'm gonna bust you up real good. This can't be happening.
Location confirmed. Pending supplies.
Shoot! He's right! Gee, I've been sick! Oh! There's one more to go. No way! I don't believe it!
Pigma and Wolf both said on their way out, I don't believe it, in some form or another. And this is a good opportunity to talk about expectations and experiences, because when you are in a position where you need to perform, your expectations are really important. And a lot of people create very unrealistic, untenable expectations that don't really acknowledge the reality of the specific context they're in. Wolf and his crew coming in with the expectation that their ships were going to overwhelm Fox and that they were indestructible is ultimately their undoing, because it led to them being maybe a bit more complacent than they otherwise would have if they would have expected that Fox and Peppy, Slippy, and Falco would put up a fight. They go in with a more realistic expectation. They may have oriented themselves to the engagement a little bit more effectively to where they would stay on point, focus on what they could control, acknowledge their weaknesses and their limitations. A lot of people think that they're only supposed to acknowledge their strengths, and that's not necessarily true. You don't want to expect that the worst is going to happen, but you do need to be mindful of what the possibilities are so that you're prepared to respond to the moment. The two of them saying, I don't believe it, suggests to me that the reason they crashed and burned here, no pun intended, is because they didn't have realistic expectations of this engagement, and it was to our benefit.
I'll go it alone from here. Fox!
All right.
I've been waiting for you, Star Fox. You know that I control the galaxy. It's foolish to come against me. Now you will feel true pain.
This is going to be really interesting with Half Shield.
Only I have the brains to rule Lilac.
So, Andros, you show your true form.
See, this is a great example of when something could have completely thrown Fox off here. Now he's looking at Andros's brain, but instead, Fox, by not having everybody around him panicking and freaking out about this, is able to respond. He goes, okay, cool, there's a brain in front of me. I got to do something with this. So a lot of this game, I think it's easy for me to illustrate performance stuff because Fox has to perform. Well, performance is responding to what is in front of you. It's not reacting to it. Sometimes it's reacting to it to some degree because you've built up skills that you can do automatically. But when you see the brain, now immediately it violates your expectations, but you go, okay, let me assess the situation and respond accordingly. I can't waste time focusing and indulging on how surprised I am that I'm fighting a brain. And it's really good stuff on Fox's part. So now we have eyes we have to take out. Because if he can see us, he can hurt us. Those little, like, brown pellets that come out of the brain always made me really uneasy. Off my ass. God, you can hear him. Boom. That's what I needed.
If I go down, I'm taking you with me.
Don't ever give up, my son. Father? Follow me, Fox.
In times of adversity, we seek proximity to our attachment figures. Sometimes by choice, sometimes automatically. This is probably the most intense moment of adversity that Fox has ever experienced. He just destroyed Andros. Andros is trying to take him down. Well, James is not actually available to him physically. But our attachment figures don't go away. Our internalized objects of the people that matter to us don't just go away because people died. That's part of what makes things painful, is we remember people. Well, Fox has been told ever since he was a kid by his dad and then eventually by Peppy, don't ever give up and trust your instincts. Well, if he associates that with his father, what this is essentially Fox digging deep in a time of adversity and bringing himself close to the internalized object he has of his father. And he's drawing a degree of strength and motivation from this, which is going to allow him to trust his instincts. James McCloud is not actually leading us out of here. Fox probably subconsciously mapped the route he took coming in to fight Andros, and his dad being visible is a way for him to have a physical manifestation of his own memory of coming in here. It's him trusting his instinct with his internalized object or attachment figure of his father serving as the secure base for him to trust in his ability to follow that. And we're seeing him view James. This isn't actually James. This is Fox's internalization of James. So in this moment, James being very comforting but also calm and clear, tells us that this is the way that Fox carries his father. Doesn't mean that this is how his father actually was. It's how he carried it. We carry incomplete data on everybody we know, no matter how close they are to you. All right, here we go.
This way, Fox.
Are you kidding me?
Never give up. Trust your instincts.
Oh my God. I'm trying, Dad. But this is a real shit show right now, man. And I messed up.
Follow me, Fox.
Of all the places for me to die. Wow.
This way, Fox.
How poetic.
Never give up. Trust your instincts.
I can't believe after all these years I haven't memorized the route.
Follow me, Fox.
You know what this means? This is why you don't overly invest in what you believe from other people and in your objects. You at some point, Fox has to differentiate himself from his father and has to make his own decisions. He can't just make the ones that he thinks his father would make.
This way, Fox.
That's how we're gonna headcanon this. Psychological headcanon. I also should be boosting more so I actually keep up with him. That's really the problem.
Never give up. Trust your instincts.
There we go.
You've become so strong, Fox.
our leader. What's wrong, Fox? Nothing. Nothing's wrong.
Right, so his father disappears off into the ether, which in some ways I think is metaphorical for the fact that he now has to let go of his father, because as we talked about, he was attached to Andros. But when, again, I think the part that I really want to illustrate here is that when James McCloud says, "You've become so strong, Fox," that's not actually James saying that. That is Fox saying to himself, "I've gotten strong. I am now at a point where I believe my father would have been proud of me." It's a reflection of Fox's own self-worth and development, not of James, because James isn't actually around to say that to him. And that's an important psychological moment for a lot of people, because it means that you have, if you can identify that, because if you can make that as your own, you can say, "I'm proud of myself. Regardless of what my father might have said, I will never know what that is. So I'm going to decide that I am proud of myself. And I hope that my father would have thought that I am." Because you can't make that decision for somebody. And then you can carry that person around differently, right? I'm living in a way that I'm proud of, instead of in a way that I would hope that my dad would be proud of. That was a solid run. YouTube, I just want to say that I appreciate so much that you took the time to watch this. If you made it this far, those of you that are here on Twitch, thanks for watching as well. I am going to forego Katina, Soul, and Macbeth because it's late, but I hope you had fun. It's fun to mess with this game a little bit and put the psychological spin on it, as campy as it may be.
Star Fox, we are in your debt. I would be honored to have you as part of the Cornerian...
Oh, no, sir. We prefer doing things our own way.
Great Fox is ready to go.
It's time for us to go now.
Is it hard to analyze as you imagine? Not really. I mean, these kinds of concepts show up everywhere. I mean, there's not as much context and there's not as enriching of engagements to be able to analyze, but no, I mean, it's not super hard. It's just funny to me because this isn't a game that you would normally like use to do this. But I think if nothing else, what this playthrough illustrates is that I had a professor a long time ago that said psychology is a hindsight science. It's a science where you point something out or you apply knowledge to something in hindsight and it makes it seem like it should have been obvious all along. And that's not actually true. And so you can find these concepts in just about anything. And just because I'm saying that something is the way that it is doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. But it does show that a lot of these concepts are just theories. They're just things that we try to use to understand dynamics better. And over time, you know, you can, these create very simple nuggets for me to be able to make something that's very complex more digestible to people that don't have the educational background that I have to do that. So when I watch anything or play anything, these things are always going on in my head. And so if it's helpful to hear me explain these things in this way because it's too complicated otherwise, then, you know, I've done my job. That's why I like to do this. Video games are something that all of us that are watching this can connect with in some way. But the psychological concepts are too. It's just not something that's easy to articulate if you don't have the theoretical background for it. Yeah, there you go, Zelda. The end screen. No laughing Andros this time. $12.26. Not bad.
What?
78,464. That's quite a little bit. That's quite a bit steeper than the last one. I like it. What? Now, let me do this. YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the way out. Leave a comment. Engage. If this is the video that goes viral, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will probably do another something like this on my birthday next time. So if you made it all the way through, you're an MVP. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll see you in whatever playthrough you go to.